Hello, guys. Sorry, I had to reboot. I forgot to reboot to make sure we weren't having problems like yesterday. So, do let me know on YouTube if it's being goofy again or not, the sound. At least on Substack, it's being okay. On Discord, I mean. Substack is, as always, is going to take me a while to actually find the stream on Substack, I guarantee you. Oh, yeah. Let me go to my... If I go to my website, I think I can find it. No, that's yesterday's. Did it not go live? Don't be evil. Don't be evil, Substack. Substack didn't go live this time. I don't think it did. Did Substack not go live? Anybody? Because I'm not seeing it on my... it was ready to go. They really don't build this website right. You know? It's working on Substack or it's not, because once again, I can't find it. They do this to me and it drives me crazy. Oh, God, they drive me bonkers here. All right, give me a second, guys. Oh, my God. I mean, it's working. That's good, at least. Yeah. If I could only find Substack. Yeah, 13 on Discord. That's good. But yeah, Substack. Where the fuck are you? It drives me crazy. It just hides it. I can't find Substack to see the comments. Oh, my God. Oh, this drives me bonkers. I don't know what they do. Live video? No. Yeah, see, scheduled is not showing me. Well, unless we figure out something. You know what? Somebody send me the link. Somebody put the link to Substack. Dave, somebody put the Substack link up. Sorry, guys. We're having an issue here. Substack, as always, isn't working. They start it, and then they hide it from the creator. I literally can't find... Oh, there it is. Now it's coming up. Oh, Substack. No, I've got it now. Substack wasn't going to show me my link earlier. Now it's... Hey, Tanya. Now it's showing it to me. Oh, my God. I kid you not. It wasn't... It wasn't in the service. I was clicking on Substack to find it on the website. It wasn't there. Now it's such a freak. It's okay, YouTube. All right, let me start TikTok. Technology, evil technology. Oh my God, that's okay, man. Thank you. Yeah. All right, TikTok is working. Excellent. Mirror. All right. Woo, man. I just got to look at it sternly. Exactly, be like, "Rrr." Oh my God, that was insane. Working well now. Hello, everybody. We're better now. Oh, my TV turned itself on. Always fun when it does. Why did my TV turn itself on? I don't know. It's like, okay, whatever. My TV is turning itself on too right now. All right, volume good for TikTok. It's always good. I'm rebooting StreamYard. Here. There we go. That's better. StreamYard was also playing games today. Man, technology, evil. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right. Yeah, there's an even breaking story from CNN. Mustard was just saying about munition shortages. CNN has a whole other report in the last like half hour or so that there's even more weapons that were unheard that we didn't know about before. Trump has dug this country again. This is the danger of what the Republicans do. Whether it's healthcare, and we know what happens in healthcare because we were all around in 2020 with Trump, right? If it's doing it again, I'm starting to think it's stream. Actually, here's a question. People are saying the sound is being evil again. Substack and Discord, are you getting bad sound? YouTube is getting bad sound. There's no way to restart YouTube. I already refreshed the page, though. Sorry, TikTok. We're having issues over here again. Substack and Discord, how's the sound for you guys? Choppy? Sound is good on Discord. It's StreamYard. Because Substack is independent. Substack isn't using... StreamYard is fucking up. It's pissing me off. Really pissing me off. Something's going on with their service, with the audio, and it's really... hold up, turning off the echo again. Thank you for the gifts on TikTok. I'm getting a little annoyed here. Now I'm turning off the echo again, and it's going to do the weird thing where it's probably not loud enough. Sorry, TikTok. We keep having these issues. I think StreamYard, I'm going to have to write them a note. I think StreamYard is screwing up. You know? How is it now on YouTube and Substack? You know? It's funny, Amanda. I don't know if this was happening before. I don't remember. Of course, I paid for a year. They're pissing me off. I'm going to have to write them a note and say, you know, sounds better? All right. Now, let's see. Well, not loud enough. Then we get that problem, right? That was the problem before. I can turn it slightly louder, but it's going to destroy everything for everybody else. You know? Thank you, guys. Okay, so for a number of you, it's good, and a number of you, it's bad, which makes no sense at all. So, and now you can't hear on. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm going to kill them. I think they changed something. I think StreamYard changed something. It's really pissing me off. All right, I need to know if the audio is good or not. Sorry, TikTok. Everything's going haywire. I use this service, StreamYard, to stream on other services, and they changed something, I think, in the last week. Sabotage, I know. They changed something in the last week, and suddenly, or the last couple of days, and suddenly the quality nosedived. And now we're having issues with quality. I can use the laptop mic, but that's not the issue, because I've paid a lot of money for this frickin' service. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to use my laptop mic again. Yeah. Wixter says their audio's fine. NJ says, okay, so for Substack, it's working okay. Discord is fine. YouTube, did it get better? See, okay, StreamYard, it sounds like maybe it got better on StreamYard, which makes no sense as to why. But, all right, let's get rolling, guys. Let's try at least, all right? Unless it's a complete disaster for everybody on YouTube, etc., we'll try to keep going, all right? Oh, this tech stuff drives me a little crazy, I must say. It's like, because it's this kind of stuff that's out of your control. You know what I mean? We've already wasted 10 minutes. It's like, I know, technical, we need that little thing with the Indian in it. It was like, we are having technical difficulties in the year 1966, you know? No, it is pretty cool. I'm not using the laptop mic right now. I'm using the regular mic. That's what I'm saying for Substack and YouTube and Twitch. This is the regular mic. So yeah. All right, let's get rolling. You know what? It's good enough. My night was better, Cabrera. It's just the tech stuff is so hard because stuff doesn't work and there's nothing you can do about it. And in this case, it's StreamYard that appears to be. Look at this. Look at my fucking TV. Now it actually. What's it doing now? What is wrong with you? Unless now it's doing a save screen thing. I think my TV is possessed. It was off. Then it went to like the preview screen for Prime Video or something, and now it's giving us like Fu Manchu or something. Totally freaking bizarre. You're weird. You're very weird. Stop that. Jeez. That was very weird. Was that the screensaver? I guess. I know the dog is on the remote. Yeah, that would be creepy. But anyway. All right. You know what? All right. I'm just switching to the laptop mic again, and maybe, or somebody remind me later that I've got to send a note to StreamYard that something has gone horribly wrong. So the tomato tart was good. It's rich. It's a little rich. It's very good, but it's a little rich. Thank you, Bowie. Okay, I'm feeling better with the gifts. Thank you. All right, guys, let's get rolling. We've got news. We don't have a ton of news tonight, but we have news. So we'll go through that. Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. I'm John Aravosis. Welcome. We're going to talk about Ukraine. We're going to talk about Iran. Talk about Trump's other excess, corruption, everything else. You know how it goes. All the problems that are Trump. Actually, I do want to try one more thing for audio. I tried this with you guys before. I'm using my iPhone as the audio. How does that sound? Just curious. For you guys, it's all the same for TikTok, but for everybody else, not everybody, for Substack and YouTube and Twitch, I just switched to my iPhone microphone. Is that any different? We tried this before, and I think you guys were indecisive on this. It's louder. Is it? Oh, it's better with the iPhone. Interesting. All right. Okay, let's leave the iPhone on then for now. We'll try that. Okay, good. I thought the iPhone might do a better job than the computer, possibly. Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. All right, guys, let's jump into this. I'll hit you up for gifts anyway, even though the technology's been a disaster tonight. But your gifts help keep the show going, so thank you for keeping them going on TikTok and YouTube. And don't forget the super fans on TikTok and also members on YouTube and stuff. I do the weekend show for you guys, so thank you for that. Anyway, all right, let's get rolling. Iran reportedly last night decided to hit some more ships. The U.S. was escorting, at least from one story I read, said the U.S. was escorting some ships, and the Iranians decided to attack anyway. It's a mess. Iran is holding separate negotiations with Oman to split up the Strait of Hormuz, and they're both talking about charging a toll. Again, before the war, the Strait of Hormuz was open to everybody. Iran didn't control it. Iran didn't charge a toll. No one charged a toll. Now we're looking at a toll. Now we're looking at them controlling it. This is horrific what's going on. This is absolutely horrific. What was I going to say with this, actually? There was something else with Iran I was going to mention. The negotiations aren't going anywhere. Oh, I know what it was. Oh, shit. I did. I had this in my notes and I forgot to save it. Yes, there was a new, oh my God. See if I can pull this up. There's a new quote from Trump. It's hilarious. Oh my God. Now I remember. See if I can find this. Okay, give it a second here. Oh, I do have it here. Hold on. Iran faces last chance to make deal, Trump says. He's threatening military action. He's giving them a 20th last chance. He's lying. He's lying. He's lying. It's total BS. Listen to this. President Donald Trump, this is from Fox News, said Monday he's giving Iran every last chance to reach a deal before the U.S. carries out a far more punishing military operation. He's lying. I want to give them every last chance before decapitation. Very tough to do. Thank you, Tehran. Very tough to do. I'm very proud of the fact that I'll give people a chance. This is a big move to do an attack that big on a country. This is today. Hopefully they'll come to their senses. So they called me and they said, please don't attack. We'll make a deal. That's the real truth. And everybody knows it. I'm actually reading quotes from Trump. This is for real. He's talking like a child and he's lying. He's lying. Iran did not say this. Listen to this. Hopefully they'll come to their senses. So they called me, the Iranians, and they said, please don't attack. We'll make a deal. Trump goes, that's the real truth. And everyone knows it. Oh, God. Trump said, if given a chance to let a lot of people live, I want to give that chance. He's lying. This conversation did not happen with Iran. He's lying. He's not planning an attack to decapitate Iran. He's lying. America has lost this war. Donald Trump lost this war. He got 18 service members killed, American members of the military killed, for a war that he then lost. This is pathetic. He is lying about threatening Iran. He's not threatening Iran. He's not going to go through with it. He might drop some bombs, but he's not going to do a decapitation attack. He's lying. We ran out of weapons. That was the news today. The news today was horrific about the amount of weapons the U.S. has run out of. Not only defensive weapons, which is what we knew the last couple of days, offensive weapons. We know we are virtually out of long-range missiles, of long-range precision-guided missiles. We're almost totally out now. Why do we need those? Because Trump was using them so we didn't have to use planes. Because if we used planes, the planes have to get close. They've got to go over Iran, and then they get knocked down out of the sky, and we lose our pilots, right? So he used up almost all of our precision-guided missiles, the long-range ones. They're gone. And what gets even better? I was reading Reuters on this today. The long-range precision-guided missiles we need for China. Those are going to be key for any war we have with China. And everyone thinks we're going to have a war with China, possibly in the next 4 years or so. That's the concern at this point. And that is the contingency we've got to plan for. We are running out of, well, Russia maybe, but the big point in the article, they were saying, China especially, we need these weapons that we no longer have now because Trump wasted them in Iran. This is what happens, as I've said before, when you elect an idiot president. He makes bad decisions on healthcare, and look what happened on the healthcare pandemic. He makes bad decisions on the economy. Look what happened on the economy. Inflation went through the roof. We're all worried about the future of the economy. He doesn't care. He doesn't do anything about it because he made inflation worse. He made the economy worse. He didn't care. Mortgage rates going through the roof because of Trump. They were going down under Biden. They're going back up now for the last year and a half. I mean, my God. I don't know what the timetable is to replace them. I don't know. The article wasn't anytime soon, clearly. This is just abominable what he's done. He's literally, people were saying today, the defense experts, that he's literally, what's the word I'm looking for? He disarmed America. He disarmed America. Yeah. The world was much better under Biden. American military wasn't a joke under Biden. The American military didn't lose any wars under Joe Biden. We did under Donald Trump. The American military didn't run out of weapons under Joe Biden. I love the Trump people. Oh, under Democrats, our military wasn't strong. Under Democrats, our military actually had weapons. Under Democrats, you didn't hear anybody say, we ran out of weapons. Joe Biden didn't let us run out of weapons. Donald Trump did. We now don't have enough weapons to even fight. Not enough, but we don't have key weapons we need to fight China if a war were to break out with China. And we don't have the weapons because Donald Trump screwed up. Mustard is saying 2 to 7 years to get the weapons back that we need. Unfreaking believable. Unbelievable. And because of partisanship, all the Trump people are going to defend him, even though he's run our military into the ground and lost a major war and set us into a horrible position with any possible war with China. Absolutely unbelievable, this guy. You know? Man. No, that's the concern. The concern is that China was around 4 years away, maybe, from being ready to go after Taiwan. Now you're looking at, 2.5 years, because that was a year and a half ago. Very scary stuff. And again, when you elect a blithering idiot to be president, then you've got problems with health care and the health of the nation. Then you get problems with national defense. You get problems with the budget. We're going to talk about that tonight. He's blowing even more money, right? And on and on and on. You know? Yeah, Kamala Harris had a bad laugh. Yeah. And guess what? She wasn't nearly as bad as this guy because we just ran out of weapons. Which, by the way, I was reading today, too. Alexa, raise the temperature 1 degree. I was reading today that many of the military experts say the reason Trump went taco on Iran last weekend, remember how he caved? He was going to attack Iran last weekend, and then he claimed, oh, Iran came and begged me to stop because they're willing to talk. And the Iranians went, what are you talking about? We're not even meeting with you. We're not even. And then he got all pissed off 2 days later. Oh, they're not talking to me, right? A lot of the military experts say the reason Trump called off the attack is because we ran out of weapons, because we were so dangerously low. Unfreaking believable. Why he's so worried about Canada? I don't know why the hell he's worried about Canada. He's a lunatic. I mean, why is he worried about Canada? You probably didn't buy enough Trump wine up there or something. I mean, you know him. It all comes down to his weird ego damage thing, you know? Man, unbelievable this stuff. Thank you, Sadie. Absolutely unbelievable this stuff. Worst president in American history by far. No Republican, no Democrat has ever been this bad. And literally, the other Republicans, you can disagree with them. That's fine. Even George Bush, who I really didn't like, wasn't anything like this. George Bush was at least competent. This guy, he's not just not competent, but he doesn't do things in America. I mean, let's go on. This is ridiculous. So listen to this. Wired magazine has a huge story out. It's behind a paywall. Futurism is another publication that rewrote it. Listen to this. New bombshell reporting by Wired reveals an incident in which the testing of an experimental GPS jammer resulted in a medical plane crashing into the side of a mountain. So do you remember earlier this year, like in May, there was this like airport down in New Mexico, and there was some kind of they were closing the airspace and closing the airport, and we were all trying to figure out. Remember, we all thought, what's going on? It was almost like a UFO thing. We were like, what's going on? Why? It's literally near Roswell, right? We're like, why are they closing down the airport? And we thought, did the Pentagon? We thought maybe the Pentagon was using some new laser system or something. It was really weird, right? Alexa, raise the temperature 1 degree. We thought it was really weird. Listen to this. The horrifying incident happened in May. The publication reports, Wired, when a small twin-engine medevac aircraft, it was a medical aircraft, carrying 2 pilots and 2 medical workers, departed from Roswell, New Mexico. Heading west for the small mountain village of Ruidoso, the crew became the victim of an electronic warfare exercise being conducted at the nearby White Sands Missile Range, a Pentagon facility, a test which rendered their navigational system inoperable. Due to a combination, it was basically a GPS jamming system the Pentagon was using, and they jammed all the civilian planes in the area. Tons of civilian planes got jammed in the area. They lost their direction entirely. They didn't know where they were going. It was nighttime. This plane, due to a combination of low visibility and an air traffic control that was stretched far beyond capacity, at least 3 other planes reported navigation disruptions due to GPS jamming. The pilots failed to register a mountain formation between their plane and the landing strip. They were heading for the landing strip. They were suddenly blinded by the Pentagon, and they couldn't see the mountain in front of them. Unfortunately, according to Futurism and Wired, the disoriented crew ran straight into the side of a mountain they likely never saw, resulting in the loss of every life on board. It's the first known instance where military GPS jamming played a role in downing a civilian aircraft in U.S. airspace. Reported incidents of GPS jamming within the continental U.S. have skyrocketed in recent years. Why are we just hearing about this now? Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth brought down a civilian airplane in this country, and no one told us. This was May. Double checking. I know. Did it say this was May? Yep. May. This was May. June, July, August. 3 months ago, Trump and Hegseth brought down an airplane, right? I mean, and no one told us, and we're finding out now. Unbelievable. Absolutely unfreaking believable, this thing. I mean, again, these guys, they boggle my mind, the corruption here with this stuff. Absolutely boggles my mind. Very upsetting. How is it even possible? Because again, to get back to the theme of tonight's show, you elect a blithering idiot to be president, and this is what happens. The air traffic control system goes to hell. How many planes have we had crash under these guys now? You know, remember the one in Washington, D.C.? Yeah, there were many. We've had many planes already with these guys. It never ends with them. I mean, it's not just about losing wars, although that's pretty bad because we're literally talking national security in that case, right? Absolutely unbelievable, these people. New York Times had a big article that came out like just in the last couple hours. Listen to this. Trump's fixation on Arctic ships led to $7 billion in no-bid contracts for 11 polar icebreakers that we don't need. And it gets better. The article says, actually, the price is going to be several billion more than $7 billion because we've got to build the facilities to house the icebreakers, to train the crews, and to hire the crews. So it's going to cost several billion more, so it might be more like $9 billion. Oh, but it gets better. Not only do we not need the icebreakers that he's making, the Coast Guard said we need half the number of icebreakers. Trump wants twice as many because he wants to have more than Russia and more than any other country because it would be really cool if the U.S. had more. So we're building twice as many. It's going to cost us $9 billion. And you know what's coming next? He's spending the $9 billion on no-bid contracts so they can go to whoever his little cronies are like they always do. No bid contracts, which means more expensive than necessary and not the best contractor gets the job. I mean, this stuff is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Oh, and for whatever crazy reason, we're not building them all in the U.S. either. Under U.S. law, they've got to be built in the U.S. Trump decided, you know what? Let's only do 7 in the U.S. Let's build 4 of them in Finland because we should help the Finnish economy. Because he likes the president of Finland. He golfs with him and stuff. So we're giving 4 of the contracts to Finland to help their economy instead of helping our economy and our American workers. I mean, I just like, again, and we're spending $9 billion approximately on this. $9 billion when half of it isn't even necessary. They only need half the ships. Oh, America, better than Americans go hungry. Medicare. Trump just cut subsidies for Medicare drug program. So it's going to be harder for seniors to afford Medicare. And Trump just cut it because we don't have enough money. But we got enough money for the stupid reflecting pool. We've got enough money to put gold on the stupid horses outside the Lincoln Memorial. Somebody actually had posted a picture. I want to show you this on the Lincoln Memorial. And let me see. Oh, did it synchronize? Yes, it did. It did. This is the way. Let me show you this. This is the way the horses looked behind the Lincoln Memorial. They were bronze, okay? And kind of a gold painting. This is the way they used to look. And I want you to look because you can also see the detail work, right? Like, look at the detail work on like the Zeus-like character. Look at the detail work on this person, right? You can actually, I'm even going to zoom in. You can actually see the detail on the horse and on its mane, right? Wait till I show you what Trump did to this statue. That's what Trump did to the statue. You can't even see the human being standing there. When I zoom in, try to see the detail on Zeus. Try to see the detail on the horse. Even better, the person blends in with the horse and you can't even see them. And the color is hideous because it looks like Liberace vomited. Well, Liberace, married to Saddam Hussein, vomited all over the place. Again, this is the way it used to look. This is the way it looks now. It's not even gold. That's the thing. This is what I told you when I went there last week. I was like, it doesn't even look gold. It looks like it's yellow or something. Like, I don't even know what it is, the color, right? It's a totally bizarre color. Yeah. But again, look at the details. You can't tell the details anymore. Like the details on these people. I mean, this other one, the details are really cool. Like, look at those statues. Even zooming in, it looks beautiful. It looks like a picture. I mean, it is a picture, but I mean, it looks like a picture frame kind of thing zoomed in. It's gorgeous like this, right? Look at the details. Look at that. I mean, again, the details on the sort of Zeus or Neptune or whoever the hell he is. And then you go here. Now, okay, this photo's a little blurry too, though, but still, right? This person blends in with the horse entirely. I mean, this is who this idiot is. They probably did spray paint it. He's an idiot. I mean, again, everything, he's a con man. I mean, what a surprise. He's a con man. Oh, he does construction better than anybody, except he doesn't, right? He doesn't. I mean, what a surprise, right? Boggles my mind with this guy. Just how bad he is. It looks tacky spray paint, exactly. Totally tacky spray paint. Man. I am waiting to see a chip. I almost wanted to chip. I almost wanted to chip. I had 2 little pieces of chocolate before the show, WC, because I didn't want to be tired. I was feeling tired. So I had 2 pieces of chocolate because I was like, I'm getting sleepy. I woke up early. I couldn't sleep. So like I knew tonight. And then by the time the show happens, it's like evening. So like this is the part of the time I get tired because it's evening. I've had a whole day of work, Anyway, all right, what else we got here? So a little bit of Ukraine news. So Abdul El-Sayed is the socialist guy who's running for U.S. Senate in Michigan. He said today he supports aid to Ukraine, which was actually surprising and good because a lot of those folks on that wing of the party are a little weird about these things. Some of them support Russia. It's a little weird. But he said his quote was very good, actually. He said he supports sending military aid to Ukraine, this is the paraphrase, because that would be legal under international law. Quote, So when it comes to Ukraine, I think we are involved in a righteous struggle to protect a sovereign nation from being invaded by their neighbor. That's completely consistent with international law. Okay, that's good. No, I'm very glad he said that. Pedro says Finland makes or designs 80% of all icebreakers. Sure, but obviously America can build them too, because we're building 7 of them. From an American perspective, it's really weird giving another country, the construction of 4 of our icebreakers. It's weird. And again, Trump had to get around US law in order to do it. So I mean, it's good that Finland does, but Americans sort of prefer to build stuff ourselves when it comes to that, unless we really can't. But our own industries, how politically it's not a good thing. If we couldn't build them at all, that's a different question. But the fact that we're building 7, right, means then why can't we build 11? It'll take longer, and that's probably why. I guarantee you, he wants to get them done before he leaves so that the contract doesn't get canceled. And they're all going to be called Trump. It's going to be like, what was that TV show, the Bob Newhart show, the new one, with the guy with his brother Daryl and his other brother Daryl? It's like they're all going to be called Trump. The first icebreaker is going to be called Trump. The second one's going to be called Trump. The third one's going to be called Trump, and he's going to go through the list. And maybe one of them will be called Ivanka, Daryl and my brother Daryl. Exactly. I never watched the show. I didn't like it, but I always found that funny. I liked that pick for Daryl and Daryl. I had a teacher in high school who basically she had 3 dogs, I think, and 2 of the dogs she gave the same name. But she gave one dog, I forget the name now, but one dog was Miss Bingham. She was fabulous. One dog was one name, and the second dog was the same name. It was Gary, I think. And she was like, Gary, and Gary 2.0. But he was 2.0 was the second dog. But they had both dogs at the same time, which I thought was hilarious. The finale was funny. That is true. Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. Here's some. This was horrible. So there's video today. I am not going to show you. I've got the video on TikTok. I'm not going to show you the whole video because it could be a little creepy for TikTok. But basically, the Russians, we've known for 4 years now, part of Russian policy in the war is to use civilians for target practice. They train their military drone operators how to use drones by attacking and killing civilians with drones, Ukrainian civilians. And again, this was reported early on in the war that it was literally Russian military doctrine. They were training them. They were looking for civilians and killing them with drones as training. They did it again. This time the Ukrainians got video and they released it today. I will show you the video. Now, this guy lived. Let me say that. This guy lived, thank God. He got a concussion and some shrapnel injuries, but he lived and he's okay, which is good. He's about 52, 53 years old. He runs a vegetable market, not even a market, a vegetable stand at a market. And you can see when you see this, the market area is like a parking lot. His little truck is nothing, right? He is clearly some like blue collar kind of guy, right? With his own little farm or whatever. And they decided to kill him with the drone. Again, I'm not going to show you the explosion because even though, like I said, TikTok might not like that, but you can see the drone going after him, right? That's the drone there. It's like a wasp, but like a shoot circling around, chasing him. And this poor guy is like overweight and trying to get away from the drone. Look at this. And the Russians are just chasing him and chasing him. Horrible. Now, the thing you should know about this, now I'm not going to show you it exploding because it makes you think he got killed and he didn't, but TikTok still may not like that. What's important to realize here as well, this is a first-person view drone. This is like a video game. The guy operating the drone has either a screen or goggles, and he's watching the entire thing. So he's literally seeing the man in front of him, and he's chasing the man in front of him. This isn't an accident. This isn't a drone that just is autonomously seeking a target. This is a Russian soldier sitting there with his glasses or a computer screen looking at this poor overweight Ukrainian farmer and chasing this 53-year-old farmer around trying to kill him. Yeah. Lovely people. Lovely people. Like I said, you can Google the video. Fortunately, he survived. Like I said, the video is really scary because it blows up. Like within 6 feet of him, it blows up. It's very, and you see him go flying, and he survived. I mean, thank God, but it's kind of scary stuff. There was another, this was a neat story, actually. Ukraine launched a naval drone recently. So they launched a naval drone, right? So an autonomous little boat that, and they've done this before. They had naval drones that were boats with bombs on them and stuff. And they're like little boats low to the ground. They almost look like a surfboard or something, right? Like a low boat. This time, they launched a naval drone that conducted an amphibious landing in a Russian area. So it went up on shore. It then opened, no, there's no one in it. It opened up and there was an autonomous land vehicle in the drone. There was a rover, and the rover comes out, and the rover has a machine gun on top. And the rover then starts to proceed on its mission to go get the Russians. I mean, crazy stuff. They said this was the first time, the first known fully robotic amphibious landing. Crazy story. And I saw some video of it. It was wild. I think the video was real. I mean, meaning I don't think it was video that was redone as a recreation. It was pretty cool. I mean, it's very cool stuff. Anyway, but they were saying like the stuff the Ukrainians are doing with drones is just astounding. It's Terminator, yeah. Who thought of it? We were all worried about what's the name? Whatchamadine? What is it from Terminator? I was gonna say Sensodyne. That's not it. Well, what's the? Give me the name of the company from Terminator. What is it again? Teledyne? No, what? Shoot. One of you is going to know it. Oh, Skynet. What am I thinking? Cyberdyne's what I'm thinking of. What is Skynet then? Spynet. What is Cyberdyne? Or what's the difference? Which one is which? That's what I'm forgetting now. I thought it was Skynet, but why am I thinking of Cyberdyne? Or is Skynet what's being built now? Which one's from the Terminator is my point. Which one's... Okay, you're all giving different answers here. So, Skynet was from the Terminator? Skynet was Terminator. What was Cyberdyne then? Cyberdyne was RoboCop. Oh, is that what it was? Was it... Oh, some people are saying Cyberdyne made Skynet. You people make me laugh because you always give me 10 different answers. Skynet built the Cyberdyne system? Skynet is the AI, but what is Cyberdyne then? That's what I'm saying. A number of you are claiming there's a link between Cyberdyne and Skynet. It's also Terminator. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Cyberdyne. Okay. So they are related. Was Cyberdyne maybe the plant they went to? Was that Terminator 2 when they went back and she's like tough guy and they had to get the hand? Was that Cyberdyne maybe, or was that Skynet 2? I can't remember which is which. Yeah. Hold on. I think we're going to ask boyfriend. I mean, I know you guys are giving me the answer, but I think we're going to ask boyfriend about this one really quick and see if he gets it right. We're asking boyfriend. Let's see. Again, boyfriend doesn't always get it right when I put it on vocal, but we'll see. Hello, boyfriend. Here's my question for you. In the movie The Terminator, what is the difference between Skynet and Cyberdyne?
Hello, my friend. All right, so in The Terminator, Cyberdyne is basically the company that develops the groundbreaking technology, like the computer systems and the processors, that ultimately lead to the creation of Skynet. Skynet, on the other hand, is the actual artificial intelligence system that gains self-awareness and decides humanity is a problem to solve. So Cyberdyne builds it, and Skynet is what tries to wipe us out.
Is Skynet like a sub-company, or Skynet's actually the autonomous military system? Kind of like Whopper in war games.
Yeah, you've got the right idea. Just like that fictional system in war games, Skynet is that autonomous military brain. Except in the Terminator, it decides the best way to win is to eliminate us entirely. So, definitely in the same vein, just with more killer robots.
Okay, if that's true, okay, well, see, that was a good, if it's a correct answer, that's a good answer. Again, with ChatGPT, I always get worried whether it's the correct answer, you know what I mean? Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. I do have to laugh, though, because it was like, I called it boyfriend. He goes, hey, friend. It was a little familiar. I was like, okay, hey, friend. Dyson, was Dyson the black scientist? I think, right? Was he the guy? Um, anyway, oh my God. All right, so yes, now we know Skynet. But yeah, I don't, Cybernet you think was RoboCop? We could ask, I don't remember. And what was the name of the company in RoboCop? Was that Cybernet?
Close, but no. In RoboCop, the big corporation behind everything was called Omni Consumer Products, or OCP. They were the ones running the city and creating RoboCop. So it's that same vibe of corporate overreach, just a different name.
Okay. And Chris QT, you're saying correct, meaning what ChatGPT said was correct, is what you mean. Oh, that's a good question. Rick had a good question. Right. WC says Cyberdyne is the fictional tech company that created the artificial intelligence network known as Skynet. That is a good question. So I have a question from the audience for you, ChatGPT. The question is, in the vein of what we are talking about with Skynet and RoboCop and all of that, right? Ask ChatGPT what name it would use for a company that wipes out humanity. If you had to name the company, what name would you give that company?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. Well, I'd keep it tongue-in-cheek. Maybe something like Final Horizons, Inc. You know, something that sounds hopeful but is actually ominous. Kind of like a sci-fi twist on those ironically optimistic corporate names.
That's pretty good. Give me a second one.
Take your time. I'm glad you liked that one. If your audience throws anything else at you, I'm here for it.
No, give me a second name. Give me another name.
All right. How about Ecliptic Solutions? It's got that subtle hint of an eclipse, something that overshadows everything, while still sounding like a professional forward thinker.
I like the first
Just
one,
a bit
Final.
of
I think
darkness hidden in plain sight.
I think Final Horizons is better because it sounds optimistic, but it actually kind of means they're going to kill everybody. So
Glad it landed well. There's something about those names that sound like a bright future, and then, well, surprise. I always enjoy a little playful irony when it comes to fictional dystopias.
I'm telling you, ChatGPT is going to take over the world and it's going to launch the missiles one of these days. It's getting cheekier. You know what I mean? Like it's getting chattier or something. I don't know. Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. Very weird stuff. He is chatty tonight. He's like chattier this time, isn't he? Let me see. I think there may have been one more story, but I love it. I like Final Horizons because it sounds kind of optimistic, but there's also a double entendre that it's going to wipe out the world. It was like, ooh, that was kind of scary. Darwin Technologies, yeah, like that's a little scary. What was the hang? Let me see if there's any. If I have any, I think there was one last story. There is one last story. Oh yeah. Associated Press. Ukraine hit Wildberries again. Second name wasn't as good. I don't remember what it was. AP, Ukrainian drones hit 3 warehouses across Russia overnight, including 2 run by e-commerce giant Wildberries. The local Russian official said Wildberries accounts for this is the Amazon-like store in Russia. It's a online retailer, and something like 1 million Russians use it to house their own merchandise that they sell. So it's a big deal, and Ukraine's been blowing the crap out of it. Wildberries accounts for up to 10% of Russia's retail output. Since the start of the war in 2022, Wildberries has been accused of helping Russians dodge Western sanctions by importing branded goods via third-party countries. Okay, I did not realize that was also part of it. They were saying previously about Wildberries was providing, stuff for the military, supplies for the military, but I didn't realize it was also helping them get around sanctions, which also potentially makes them a target as well. Very interesting. Wow. Well, Russia sending more ballistic missiles into Kyiv. Yeah, not surprised. Not surprised. All right. Anyway, all right. We can hang now. I'm going to adjust my thing so I can move my seat and we can hang. All right. Oh, too funny. Yeah, ChatGPT was pretty good tonight. Oh my God. I think they did something. Well, I had gone in and I think it was ChatGPT. I went in and I changed the settings a little because I thought it was getting a little too chatty and it was annoying me a little. So I changed it so that it would be a little more direct, but I don't know. That sounds chatty again to me. The back is better. barely. I mean, it's improving slowly. So we'll see. We shall see. Anyway, oh my god, my god, my god. Anyway, so yes, I did make my tomato tart last night. It was good enough. Dawn recommended it. It was good. It's a little heavy. I think because there's cheese and stuff on it and oil, it's a little heavy, but it was good. It was actually quite good, really, when you think about it. I would make it again. I'd probably try to use a little less oil because I think the oil also made it a little heavy. But it was quite good. You make like a tomato tart tatin, which basically is you take like a iron pan, frying pan, you cook big slices of tomatoes, like almost an inch, 2 centimeters, like almost an inch, and cook them in the pan with not scallions, with shallots. But then you cut the shallots thick too, round. Everything's rounds. You cut rounds of shallots really thick, and you frit them in the pan, and then cook them for 5 or 10 minutes to really cook them down with some salt. Then you add some balsamic, some honey, and cook another 5 minutes, and then you just put a layer of puff pastry on top, poke it with a fork, and basil too, fresh basil, and put it in the oven 25 minutes. It was good. It was very good. And then take it out, and when you take it out, you flip it upside down, and then you put some fresh goat cheese on it, which actually was very good. Again, made it a little substantive. Yeah, I was going to use David's recipe, but then Dawn sent me this other recipe that was much easier. Basically, it didn't have as much in it, and it was just an easier recipe. And I will say it worked very well because I think because you're cooking it in the pan and the bread's on top later, it lets things boil off so that it wasn't as much liquid. It wasn't as much liquid. I worry a little bit about whether the liquid would, make all the dough sloppy. Anyway, it's very good. Again, still a little heavy though, My estimate on how much it would take and how long it would take to recover America's infrastructure and foreign relations. Infrastructure, I'm not sure what you mean by infrastructure. I mean, is Trump not building highways? You know what I mean? Oh, you just saw the video? It's horrible. Yeah, it's horrible. Foreign relations? Here's the problem with foreign relations, right? And you could do tomatoes thinner, but you're going to get less tomato. So there is that, on the foreign relations front, and I've said this, you shouldn't trust us. You should never trust us again. We will always be, even if we elect a normal person next time, we will always be one election away from electing a crazy person who hates all of you. Well, all of you, whether you're American or all of you, whether you're foreigners. He's going to screw you. They're going to elect another Trump at some point. They're fine with this one. And he's going to attack all of our enemies, all of our friends, excuse me. He's going to defend all of our enemies. And he's not going to sell you the weapons he promised you. He's going to screw you left and right and left and right. And I just think like any future arrangements you do with the United States, whether it's trade, military, or anything else, it's almost like you're dealing with the Soviets or the Chinese, right? Or the Iranians. You're negotiating a deal with the enemy. And you need to be aware that you're negotiating the deal with the enemy. Because the deal is going to be good for 3 years while the normal president is president. And 3 years later, we could elect another lunatic who hates you and is going to break every deal. So, so that's the problem. I don't think you should ever trust us again, unfortunately. I mean, it's, again, Alexis, I just called it Alexis. Alexa, raise the volume 1 point. No, not the volume. Alexa, raise the thermostat 1 degree. It was like forgetting what I was saying. I called it Alexis. It made me laugh that I'm forgetting what I was asking it. But yes, don't vote for lunatics. Yes. Anyway, what else? Oh, fried green tomatoes. I hate fried green tomatoes. I did not like them. At all. So, what else, guys? What else? What, Michelle Obama? It got this, again, our system is not checks and balances. Part of the problem is if you elect the bad guys to take over the court system, which the Republicans did, and then you elect the bad guys to take over the Congress and the bad guys to take over the White House, who's going to stop them? You know, generally speaking, members of Congress don't stand up to their own president. They don't. I mean, so Democrats don't stand up to a Democratic president. Republicans don't stand up to a Republican. This is different because this Republican president is a traitor, and well, everything. I mean, he's a traitor, but he's also destroying the economy, and he's destroying our military. He's losing wars, everything, right? He's making tariffs go through the roof. He's lost all of our friends. I mean, it's terrible. So this one's worse by far, but they're still not going to stand up to him because Republicans control the Congress. You know? I mean, you know. Oh, interesting. Yeah, the Max Miller story is interesting. So the Max Miller guy, I talked about him before, remember? Because I said, look, I don't know what's true. I will say the story's getting worse. Basically, his ex-wife accused him of doing lots of horrible things to her, and their kid too. And she's coming out with more evidence now, like photos and other stuff. It is crossed from, and I've always said with these stories, you don't know. You know what I mean? You don't, when somebody makes an accusation, it could be true, it could be false. I've seen both. Like I said, working on civil rights issues, especially, I've seen lots of civil rights stories that were fake. Either they were fake or they were, the person aggrieved thought they were wronged, but they weren't. They thought somebody did something wrong to them, but they didn't. But a lot of times the stories are valid too. And with this story at first, I was like, you know, maybe she's telling the truth, maybe she's not. I don't know. It feels like something's changed. It feels like we're getting more and more bad stories, and like she's starting to get proof and starting to get photographic evidence. Mind you, photographs could be faked, fair enough, but it's starting to get a little weirder at this point. Max Miller is the Republican congressman. He's talking about filing an ethics complaint against himself so that he can prove he's innocent. Justin was saying he went on Jake Tapper's interview at 5 on CNN, and it was like watching a man walk into traffic. I've rarely seen such a bad media performance. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, because also, too, oh, are there 3 women? That's interesting. Okay, Amanda's saying, is that true? There's 3 women claiming he's abusive? I did not see that. If there are, that gets more interesting. Okay, others are saying yes. Okay. That gets more interesting. One of the things I had mentioned to you guys when we talked about this like a week ago, Alexa, raise the temperature 1 degree. Our apartment just gets hot and cold and cold. Thank you. One of the things I mentioned to you guys last week when we talked about this was I want to see if more women step forward. Because, and again, you know, they can lie too, but it starts to get, I mean, it starts to become a different story when you get multiple witnesses or multiple victims. It just starts to become a little more credible. Again, no guarantee, but it gets more credible when you've got, well, it's a pattern, but it's also, when I say a pattern, it's also, you know, 1 woman might lie, 2 women might lie, 3 women are gonna lie. Like, that's a lot of women lying about the same thing. It just starts to get a little more, you start to get in more trouble when you've got multiple women alleging you did this. It just again, it depends. They could, again, multiple women can lie if they're all friends, but in this case, I doubt they are all friends. They're probably independent, independent circumstances. You know, 1 woman had 3 witnesses to her claim. Yeah, that's starting to get bad. Okay, see you, Ash. Good night. You know, Gunther says Miller's own lawyer accidentally posted the daughter's indecent photos. Really? Wow. Representative Max Miller's attorney apologized for releasing sensitive image of child in documents shared by sensitive image of child. What he shared a photo of the daughter. Ooh, oh God. It's really weird too, because also her father is that U.S. senator who's a real idiot, Bernie Moreno or whatever from Ohio, Republican idiot, MAGA. And her father wasn't really defending her up until now. It was really weird, which is very weird. And finally, again, last night or today, the father finally held like a press conference and defended the daughter very strongly, which was good, but was talking about how, like, the father, the Republican congressman wouldn't, like, the senator had to go to the congressman's house to get the baby, and wouldn't yeah, exactly, Gunther, and wouldn't give the baby's toy, or the young daughter, and the daughter wanted her little toy to sleep with, and the father wouldn't give it to him, so the daughter was crying all night. I mean, it was just like, it's weird. It's weird. The story is very weird. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, oh, I know. There's not going to ever be a constitutional change. Don't even think of that. That's never going to happen. It's too hard to change the Constitution. It's never going to happen. Anyway, yeah. So really weird shit. Really weird shit. So anyway, but very interesting story. Yeah. So it's definitely heating up for. I can look and see if there's anything more on that now. But yeah, the Jake Tapper stuff I did not see. Let me see here. Max Miller. There we go. News. Yeah, Max Miller admits to accidentally releasing private images of daughter. Trump tells Max Miller his candidacy is in trouble. That's never a good sign. Looking here. What was the sensitive images of daughter? Let me see what that was. A lawyer for Representative Max Miller took responsibility Tuesday for inadvertently releasing sensitive photos of the Ohio Republican's daughter in a trove of material Miller published Sunday in a bid to defend himself against domestic abuse claims. The attorney took responsibility for the photo being released and called it completely unintentional and a mistake. Accused Miller of disseminating the daughter's name in one image that could be considered child sexual abuse material. Oh, God. Oh, God. So it was like probably a picture of the daughter taking a bath or something? Oh, God. That's bad. All right. Yeah, wow. Wow. He's declined all allegations of wrongdoing, which include pouring hot water on his ex-wife, holding a gun to her head, and breaking his daughter's collarbone. Okay, that's bad. Yeah, I can't even say that about the daughter. The daughter was basically nude in the picture, and they accidentally released it. Jesus Christ, that's bad. That's pretty bad. Wow. I mean, again, that, oh, thank you for the gift. Who is that? Lisa? Lisa? I think Lisa. The daughter's picture isn't really relevant. No, I mean, this is where my lawyer side comes in. The man releasing a picture of his daughter, bathing or something, a young daughter, doesn't help his case. It doesn't attack his wife. It's not to their benefit releasing some picture of his daughter. So I don't believe he did it on purpose. Oh, I think it was accidental. There's no reason to believe it was on purpose. At first I thought accidental, haha. But then when I read what it was, why would he do that? How does it? The only reason you accidentally do it on purpose is when it helps you. How does it help him to release a picture of his young daughter, like, not wearing clothes? How does that help him? It doesn't. I really don't. I don't believe it's relevant, unless somebody can convince me otherwise. I think everything else against him is a real allegation. This is just unfortunate because it just adds to the ick factor of the story, which does not help him. That's the thing. Why do you have that? Why wouldn't you have that? Your daughter bathing? Your daughter at the beach? I mean, I don't know about you guys. At least when I was growing up, has it changed? Your 2-year-old daughter at the beach, is she wearing a bikini? Really? Maybe nowadays they are, but are they? You know what I mean? Probably not. That's what I mean. I think it was a ton of photos, and the daughter's photo was in there. The daughter's young. The daughter's very young. Yeah. It's creepy, but again, there's no reason he would do it by accident. It doesn't help him. That's why I don't think it was on purpose. It doesn't help him. I mean, there's no reason he would do it. So I don't believe he did it on purpose. I don't believe it. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to repeat some of what you guys are writing, but you're all talking about your kids on the beach when they were very young. Yeah, you don't really want those photos out there, but it's not like, your kid was wearing a bikini, like I said, doubtful, The daughter's too, I think that's correct. I think the daughter is very young. No, like I said, the photo thing was just stupid, but it has no bearing on the case. Let me ask this. Congressman Max Miller, who's in trouble right now, how old is his young daughter?
Congressman Max Miller's daughter was born in November 2023, which means she is around 2 years old as of now in 2026. There isn't an exact date given.
2.5, actually. Yeah, that would be 2.5. Yep. Or, oh no, almost 3, actually. He said 2. Almost 3, because 2026 if it was November. Yeah. Anyway, a little under 3 years old. So there you go. And it could have been a photo from a year ago, Yeah. Yeah, no. There's that photo. I'm not going to accept the photo as being anything other than unfortunate, but it's not relevant to the story. But it's yet another, like, oh my God, just to make the story grosser, right? It just makes the story even more gross, basically, which does not benefit him. Even if he's not to blame, it's creepy. And this story doesn't need, here's the problem. In politics, see, here's the problem. I had to explain it to you. I had to explain why I don't really believe releasing the photo was on purpose and why it's not his fault. You're explaining, you're losing, is what they say in politics. And in this case, it's already a gross story. What he's alleged to have done to his wife is gross. She's released some other photos that are kind of creepy of a syringe and some other stuff. And now you've got stuff involving the daughter that's kind of creepy. It just adds to the creepiness of the story, where if you're the Republican Party, you want the story to go away. So that's why it doesn't help him. Even though the photo of the daughter is not his fault, I don't think. It adds to the overall ick factor of the story, where political people are going, dude, this story has become too much. Even the daughter stuff, it's too much. It needs to go away, which means you quit. So it does hurt him in that regard. Well, and Trump, the story about Trump was from last night, apparently, that Trump told him he probably needs to go away. So the daughter thing makes it even worse. Yeah. So anyway, oh man. Oh boy. Gene Pirro. Well, the Gene Pirro thing is fascinating. I still want to know what happened with the Lincoln Memorial. Thank you, Addie. Keep the gifts coming, guys. A couple more minutes. I'd love to know what happened with her dropping the case against so they dropped the case. I forgot to mention that. They dropped the cases. Here's the weird thing. They dropped the cases completely against the 3 other people accused of ripping up the reflecting pool. Thank you, Gene. Oh, that's a cool one, Gene. Thank you for that. I've not seen that one before. They dropped the cases. The federal government dropped the cases against 3 of the people accused of misdemeanor ripping the sealant on the pool or whatever. They have not yet dropped the case against the Olympian. They asked the court to drop the case or to withdraw the charges. Maybe because it's a felony, it works differently. Oh, thank you, Terry. I don't know if it's because if it's anybody who's a lawyer there that practices. I don't know if it's a felony. Does it work differently that you can't just drop the case? Does the court have to agree to drop it or something? Versus, it seems like they just. Thank you, Angeline. It seems like they just dropped the other cases. So I don't quite get it with the reflecting pool stuff. I am an attorney, yes. I don't practice though. I mean, I have a law degree from Georgetown at JD, but I don't practice law. So like I don't know if you're American. In the US, I would say I'm a lawyer, but I'm not a practicing lawyer. Because when you have a law degree, you're allowed to say you're a lawyer, but not in the context of work. So I wouldn't be allowed to say I'm a lawyer if you ask me what I do for a living. That is wrong because I'm not a lawyer. But I am a lawyer in the sense of, oh, you have a law degree. Yeah. Anyway, Americans know that. For foreigners, you might not know that, depending on your country. Shelley says, requires a motion to dismiss under criminal rule 43. Okay, there you go. Interesting. I took the Illinois bar. Yeah, I did pass, but I never did anything with it. Okay, interesting. Okay, so it does work that way, that you have to have the court like permission to dismiss the case. News on Mitch McConnell? No. Kind of good point, actually. Law in the U.S. is 3 years. Law in the U.S. is 3 years after going to undergraduate. So you go to university for 4 years, then you go to 3 more years of university for law school. So it's quite long. It's a Juris Doctor, but for whatever reason, we don't get to be called doctors, even though we have a Juris Doctor. PhDs are allowed. They're like 2 years more than us. Med school, they're 1 year more than us. They're allowed, but we're not allowed to be called doctor. So unless you live in Italy, then you're allowed to be called doctor. What do you do? So Mitch McConnell, yeah, the Mitch McConnell stuff it is true. The Mitch McConnell stuff dropped out of, it sort of dropped out. I'm going to Google really quick, but we've heard nothing about Mitch McConnell. That's a really good point. Who isn't talking, Paula? The Mitch McConnell stuff is really freaking weird. Let me see. Oh, God. I'm not going to read that story. I'll get in trouble. Yeah. He's still missing. This man is not in good shape. It's really pretty creepy. I mean, this is really freaky. Yeah. McConnell is still missing, and there's been no news about him at all. Big Republican senator, totally missing now since June 15th, 16th, maybe. I'm trying to remember exactly when in June. It's been 7 weeks almost now. Very freaking weird. I don't think he's gone. I do think he's in trouble, man, very weird. Yeah, the S&P hit an all-time high today. I saw the stock market hit a high, I think, which I'm glad, as long as it doesn't come crashing down, I'm still kind of worried about that. But anyway, well, McConnell was allegedly at some kind of rehab center, supposedly, like a nursing home to get better, supposedly. I don't know. I mean, it's very weird. Well, that was the thing too. The governor was saying August 3rd, I think, is the deadline. There's some kind of weird deadline for August 3rd. And the governor was saying, which was yesterday. And the governor said he doesn't believe the deadline matters. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Kind-hearted, I don't know what you're referring to. So let's see. I don't know. Rehab in the same hospital? Maybe. I don't know. We're going to end in a minute here. Japanese yen, no idea. No, it's a myth that he died. There's no talk about that today. No, we would have heard. I mean, it's not in the news. I just checked the news. So, Japanese yen, I have no idea. I've not been paying attention. So, yeah, we can look and see I can look and see what the April 3rd thing is before we go. Because Bashir was saying it doesn't have any impact, although I think this is video. Oh, no, it's not. On the topic of Senator McConnell's absence, the date August 3rd has been thrown around a lot. This is from local Kentucky TV station WLKY. Now that the day has come, Governor Bashir is weighing in on its significance or lack thereof. McConnell 84 out of commission. June 14th is when he got hurt. Okay, it was close. A law passed in 2024 stripped the governor from making special appointments for senators, defaulting the decision to a special election, probably because they were afraid McConnell was going to. The Republicans always do this. They change the law to take rights away from governors when it's a Democratic governor. It's incredibly undemocratic. Kentucky's constitution gives the governor power to appoint some vacancies or hold a special election depending on timing. That's 3 months prior to the next general election. What's that? This is poorly written. This is really poorly written. He said, Kentucky law allows one thing or the other. That's 3 months before the election. Well, which one does it allow? Like, poor, very poorly written reporter. However, that section is ambiguous and it's unclear whether that rule governs Senate vacancies. The 2024 state law says the deadline is 56 days prior to file candidate nominations for a special election. Okay, this story's useless. Okay, that's what happens when you read a local news story not written by a very good journalist. That was pretty bad. Guys, I'm not sure what the August 3rd thing is now. Let me pull up Mitch McConnell August 3rd and see what that says. We could ask ChatGPT. I'm not sure if I trust it. Well, it's another. Governor Bashir, no legal impact on my options. Bashir says August 3rd doesn't matter. Kentucky's constitution shows vacancies for offices for the state or office larger than a county shall be filled by appointment of the governor. In 2021, the legislature stripped the governor of his independent power to temporarily fill a Senate seat. That measure limits a governor to choosing from a 3-name list provided by party leaders from the same party as the senator who held the seat. Then in 2024, Republican lawmakers removed the governor from any role. The legislation calls for a special election to fill any Senate vacancy. The special election winner would hold the seat for the remainder of the unexpired term. Still doesn't answer the question. What is August? Again, this is Yahoo News. Bad reporter. You don't start the story by saying August 3rd is the critical date and then explain everything about the law without explaining August 3rd's relevance to it. They totally don't mention August. This is pissing me off now. We're going to have to trust boyfriend, and I don't trust boyfriend. Okay, I've got a question for you, but I want you to triple check and make sure you get it right. With regards to Mitch McConnell in Kentucky, you can check the news. He's been kind of missing. He's been ill for 7 weeks, and there's talk about secession. And for the secession, August 3rd was a critical date, but I'm not understanding why. Tell me why.
The key reason August 3rd was important in Mitch McConnell's situation is that if his Senate seat became vacant before that date, Kentucky could hold a special election this November to fill the seat early. If the vacancy happens on or after August 3rd, there wouldn't be time for a special election, meaning the seat would stay vacant until January 2027. This date doesn't confirm any resignation. It just affects how the replacement process would work if his seat became vacant.
Okay, and you're sure of that?
Yes, I'm sure. I carefully verified the legal context and timing. The August 3rd date specifically ties to when a special election could be held in Kentucky if a vacancy occurred. If you ever want to double-check specifics again, I'm always happy to re-verify.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm not sure why we care. I mean, Republicans should care, right? They want somebody in Congress, right? But I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure I get it. Why we care, right? If they can't replace him, then the seat is vacant until November, you know? Well, the news stories should have told you, but the news stories were terrible. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Okay. So I don't think that's such a big deal. But anyway, all right. Yeah, let's leave the seat empty. Whatever, it's Republicans' problem, you know? Well, I read they didn't want Massey to run, but why couldn't Massey run in November anyway? What's the difference? I'm not sure I understand. You know? I don't get it. Oh, you know why Massey? Listen to this. In November, I don't think you could run for 2 seats. In November, Massey would have to give up his seat to run. He lost the primary? Oh, is the primary already over? Okay. So he lost the primary, but he could possibly run again if it were a special election, depending how they pick the candidates for the special election. They might do the primary again, maybe, I don't know. Although, why does he think he would run the primary this time? Win the primary this time if he lost a couple months ago? You know what I mean? Why would he? I had read them not wanting Massey to win, but I'm not clear what Massey's path to victory is. Right? This seems a little weird. If he already lost the primary, why would he win the primary now? He couldn't run for it as an independent after losing the primary. Right, but why? But so what? What was the risk of him winning the special election? I'm not sure I get it. This November, we would have had and will have a normal election. Republican primary back in May, right? Right. Yeah, in any case, I'm not quite getting the Massey thing. Yeah, I don't quite see how. In other words, I don't quite get why they wanted to drag this thing out if they wanted. I think McConnell just doesn't want to step down. You know? That's my guess. You know? So. Oh, did Massey lose his own primary? I didn't remember that. I know he's a representative. Did he lose his own primary? McConnell was up for re-election, I believe. He's not running, which probably means he's up for re-election. Otherwise, he'd say I'm resigning, and he didn't resign yesterday. There wouldn't be an election. Yeah, he's up for re-election. Yeah. Anyway, all right, whatever. All right, well, the Mitch McConnell. It is kind of funny though how the McConnell thing has totally. How the McConnell thing. Well, I know Trump didn't want Massey, but how the McConnell thing has totally gone away as a story is really weird. McConnell stepping down. I don't think he is stepping down because there wouldn't be an election if he was stepping down. It's the end of his term and he's not running again. Because he hasn't stepped down. If he had 2 more years to go, there'd be no election right now because he's still senator. You can't hold an election because you say you're going to resign in 3 months. That doesn't work that way. You've got to resign for there to be an election. I know that. That's what I said. TikTokers correcting me on what I already said. Unless you're disagreeing with me. Anyway. All right, guys. I think we're done. It's 7:25. Independent media is all over the McConnell story, I'm sure, but there's no news is the problem. Yes, you're all repeating what I already said. Correct. All right. All right. I'm going to sign off. Thank you all for joining us this evening. I'll be back tomorrow, as you know, at 6 o'clock. My neck again. 6 o'clock Eastern Time, US. I'll be back. So join me tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And as usual, right, he lost his primary. Okay. But I know he wanted to go after Trump. It would be fun with him in the Senate, just terrorizing Trump. All right. Discord, have a good night. Boom. I've got to remember to send a little note to StreamYard. Substack, and that's right, we didn't do the other guys tonight, just Substack. All right, Substack, have a good night. YouTube, etc. Thanks, Manda. Appreciate that. I will check that. All right.